All right, it is time for another van vlog Veneer Day. Although I am changing the name of it, I think I'm gonna go with Chad's Chitter Chatter. And I will try to release them on Friday still, but this is where I get a random topic given to me. I think about it for about 5-10 minutes, and then I give you my answer. And I don't know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna say wrong things. And I leave those mistakes in. I'm not gonna go back and correct them or anything of that nature, so you can see me make a fool of myself. This week's topic is, in 40 years, what will people be nostalgic for? Okay, cool. That sounds like a fun one. All right, I'll be back with you as soon as I can. All right, I am back. So I thought about it for a little bit, and I was thinking, like, what am I nostalgic for right now? And cause I watch, I see like Stranger Things, right? And I think a big part of what makes that show so appealing is the fact that has such a huge nostalgia factor. And I tried to think of what am I nostalgic for right now? And one of the things that came to mind was that I really miss going to like the local video store, the Blockbuster. I mean, Blockbuster I think was the last one that I remember, the last huge one I remember to Hollywood Video. You know, Blockbuster and Hollywood Video are the last two I remember. And I just, you know, remember going there with Noelle, my wife, and I just like the fun of just us walking around the store, and it had this unique smell to it. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm not saying it was good. It was just like this unique smell. I don't know if it was just the carpet they used. I don't know. I don't know what it was. And it just got me thinking about it. And part of, I think, what I miss is I miss having the lack of options. I know, like, it's Blockbuster, there's lots of options, you have options, but it's like today, all you gotta do is like go online, push your button, and you could literally have everything you want. And yeah, that's convenient and everything, but the big issue with it is the fact that there is just so much out there, and you're kind of like paralyzed by the amount of options that you have. And I know people have done studies on this before. It's like if you go to the store and there's only 2 bread options, you got, like, that's easy, one or the other. But when you have like 60 different bread options, it's kind of like you kind of just, it just becomes much more difficult on you, and you think, okay, I'm gonna make the wrong choice. Okay, so if I pick this bread, that's the wrong choice, whatever, that bread tastes better, and so on and so forth. And I think it's kind of like the same thing with like the movies. It's like if I sit there on Netflix today or you know, Amazon Prime, or rent a movie online, I could literally rent any movie I want to watch, and most of them are free. But what if I choose the wrong one? You know, so I think kind of like being in the store and having that time pressure to get something done, because you can't be in Blockbuster all the time. You can't be there for like hours and hours. And knowing that, okay, we've got date night and we got to get something done. But I mean, I don't know. It just, but I thought about it. Okay, so what's something that in the future, and I know it said 40 years, but honestly, I think there's going to be things that we haven't even thought about today, because we are moving so incredibly fast. Technology is moving and advancing so incredibly fast that I think there's going to be things that we haven't even thought about today that are going to happen in 20 years from now that we're going to be nostalgic for 40 years from now. Okay, I mean, I just talked about Blockbuster Video, and that was 20 years ago, less than 20 years ago. I graduated from college in 2005, and I remember still going there in 2007, 2008, maybe even 2009. So that wasn't that long ago. But one of the things I thought about was driving. So it reminds me of the story. My dad knows somebody, he has a truck. My dad called it the DUI proof truck. Like, it keeps you in the lanes. He says it'll keep you in your lanes. It'll brake for you. It'll adjust speed for you. You could literally be drunk and driving it, and you would look like you're sober. Now, I'm not advising people go and drink and drive and buy a DUI truck, but it reminds me of the whole Tesla thing as well, because I think Tesla my understanding is that the new models can literally drive themselves. Now, of course, they tell you not to do that, and that you do need to make certain that you are, you know, behind the wheel of the car. But and I thought about it. I think maybe in 40 years from now, there will be no wheels in cars. I think that's what it's going to be. I'm going to be like 80 years old or close to it. And there, people are going to expect me to get in a car with no wheel. But I think the infrastructure and the technology is going to be there. And I think one of the things that people are going to miss, and I don't even think it's going to be 40 years from now, probably 20 years from now, or not even, maybe even 10 years from now, is the act of actually having a steering wheel in the car and actually driving. And the thing that, before I ramble on too much, but I just thinking like, we are just going to miss going out, period. I mean, right now we barely have to go out at all. I mean, you can literally do everything from your house. And with this virus that's come through, a lot of people are learning to work from home. And I think that's going to become a way of life. And I think that people are going to be nostalgic for, I'll put it this way. If we're not already in the Matrix, okay, we can make that argument. That's a whole other talk. I think we're going to kind of create a matrix for ourselves that we stay in, where we're all going to stay in our own little bubbles and our own little houses. And we're all going to communicate via electronically, and people just aren't going to go out anymore. Because what's the need of going out? Like, why do you need to go out? And I think there's an argument for that, because I think social interaction is far more important than we realize. But I think we're almost going to get so used to it. And this may just be what's going on right now, influencing me. But I think what we're going to become nostalgic for is a way of life where we are forced to interact and resolve conflict on a daily basis. And I do think that eventually, unfortunately, and I hope this doesn't happen, because it's like we get worried about, oh, like, are we in the Matrix or not? And it's like, man, we're starting to create our own Matrix. Like, even if we're in a Matrix right now, we're creating another one. Because, I mean, what's the difference between sitting in your room all day long, talking to nobody, just communicating electronically online, and all that, and ordering everything, you know? They're have like drones are going to start flying food to us and delivering all our packages. Everything's going to be automated. The trucks are going to be driving themselves. There'll be no need to talk to anybody. I don't want to say artificial intelligence, but computer intelligence will advance so much that you won't even need to talk to customer service reps anymore. In fact, I think they even have lawyers like me that are like AI lawyers now. I don't know. Anyways, my buzzer's buzzing, telling me to be quiet so I don't talk too much. But I just want to say thank you so much for watching this. If you got anything out of it, please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. You can leave comments for topics you want me to talk about, as long as they're not super duper serious. I don't want to talk about the presidential debate or anything of that nature. Just lighthearted things. But yes, please do like, comment, subscribe. And as I've always said, and I'll say again, even if you don't want to subscribe to this channel, cool with that. I hope that you do. Please do go subscribe to a channel that you do like, especially if you get value out of that channel. They do work hard, and it does mean a lot to them. So I hope that you have the most amazing day.